Welcome to Real Life is TV Drama. In today's episode, we dive into the world of the Tudors, the infamous British dynasty that ruled during one of England's most turbulent times. Known for their ruthless ambition, romance, and religious upheaval, the Tudors have captured imaginations for centuries. But how close did the hit TV series, The Tudors, stay to the true story? Let's find out. Henry VIII, the man, the legend. Let's start with the man himself, King Henry VIII. In The Tudors, he's portrayed as a young, handsome, and passionate king. And yes, Henry was athletic and energetic in his early years, known for his charm and intelligence. But unlike the show's depiction, by his later years, Henry had become severely obese and suffered from painful leg ulcers, changing him from the vibrant leader of his youth into a reclusive, volatile ruler. The series, however, keeps Jonathan Rhys-Meyers in peak form throughout, barely acknowledging the toll years of health issues took on the real Henry. This choice keeps Henry's larger-than-life persona front and center, but it also brushes over the physical and psychological shifts that shaped his reign. The Six Wives of Henry VIII. One of the most famous aspects of Henry's reign was, of course, his six wives. The Tudors gives us the intrigue, romance, and heartbreak surrounding each marriage, but how accurate is it? The show captures Henry's obsession with Anne Boleyn and his desperation for a male heir, which pushed him to break with the Catholic Church. But there are some historical inaccuracies. For instance, Anne Boleyn is shown as actively seducing Henry, but many historians believe she was initially resistant to his advances, knowing that relationships with the king rarely ended well for women. The show also exaggerates Anne's political influence. While Anne did have sway, especially on religious reforms, her power was not as extensive as the series suggests. Anne's execution, however, is close to reality. She was charged with adultery and treason, though historians widely agree she was innocent. As for Henry's other wives, The Tudors compresses events, simplifies relationships, and occasionally leaves out key details, like Anne of Cleves's lifelong friendship with Henry after their annulment, which was far more amiable than the show implies. Religion and the English Reformation. Religion was at the core of Henry VIII's rule, and The Tudors leans into this theme, capturing the dramatic events of the English Reformation. Henry's split from the Catholic Church to form the Church of England was largely driven by his desire to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon and marry Anne Boleyn. The series gets a lot of this right. The dissolution of the monasteries, the suppression of Catholic influence, and Henry's subsequent struggles with Protestant factions within his court. But what The Tudors doesn't always show is the economic motivation. The wealth of the monasteries went straight to Henry's treasury, a key factor behind his decision to dismantle them. Also, the show tends to exaggerate Henry's ideological commitment to Protestantism. The real Henry remained deeply conservative in his religious beliefs, and he oscillated between Protestant and Catholic policies depending on what suited his political needs. Family dynamics and court intrigue. One of the most compelling parts of The Tudors is its portrayal of court intrigue, rivalries, and the relationships between Henry and his children. Henry's daughters Mary and Elizabeth, and his son Edward, would each inherit the throne, but the show takes liberties in portraying their early lives and relationships. Mary Tudor, later known as Bloody Mary, had a strained relationship with her father after he divorced her mother, Catherine of Aragon. The Tudors accurately shows her loyalty to Catholicism, but it oversimplifies her complex feelings toward Henry and her Protestant half-siblings. The series also amplifies court conspiracies, where nearly every noble seems bent on betrayal. In reality, while there was definitely political intrigue, many courtiers were loyal to the crown out of self-preservation, rather than out of personal loyalty. The legacy of the Tudors. Despite its inaccuracies, The Tudors does succeed in capturing the spirit of the era. The dynasty's impact on English religion, culture, and international power is undeniable, and the show brings these elements to life for modern audiences, even if it sometimes takes liberties with the truth. The Tudor dynasty left a lasting legacy, most notably through Elizabeth I, who brought England into its golden age. Although she's only a child in the Tudors, Elizabeth would grow up to become one of the most celebrated monarchs in history. Conclusion: real versus real. Final thoughts. So, how accurate is The Tudors? Like most historical dramas, it sacrifices some facts for storytelling flair. While the major events and characters are largely true to history, the show adds romance, condenses timelines, and sometimes exaggerates personalities to keep us hooked. In the end, The Tudors may not be entirely faithful to history, but it captures the intrigue, power struggles, and humanity that make the real Tudor dynasty so fascinating. So next time you watch, you'll know the line between real and real. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know what dynasty you'd like us to explore next.